Okay, so it's now turn 8, and both sides spent a large part of this turn, as with last turn, bringing on more reinforcements. So you can see this red build-up around Moscow. And the whites are building up in the south, and with the Siberians up in the Urals north, Urals central region, or at least they're trying to. The Poles were a bit busy. They, if I just pan the camera around, moved up a bit into Orsha, attacked the Reds who were there. The Reds brought on some reinforcements to try and hold them there, and they're sort of successful for the time being. Some more Red reinforcements coming in Bryansk. And towards the end of this turn, we had some combat down in Kuban with the Reds attacking Stalin and pushing him back through Tsaritsyn to the northeast. The Reds kind of have really pushed down here, but they're in trouble. The closer they get to these white replacement centres, the quicker it is for whites to bring on those replacements, and then they're right there. You can see the whites have consolidated quite a few strong forces, some reinforcements in the region, and they're looking like they may be able to counterattack and recapture Migalinska, Tsaritsyn, maybe even Voronezh as well. And with the Poles pushing from the northwest, the Reds could really be in trouble in this area. Over in the east, the Reds have captured Orenburg. They hold Kazan and Samara. The Whites brought on their reinforcements and have been pushing to the west. But now they're being met by some more Red armies rushing in from sort of this area. The Czech Legion finally left the game at the end of this turn, and this opens up this railroad and the path through to Omsk for the Reds. Alternatively, it now enables the Siberian forces, the White Siberian forces, to move between sort of the east-north region and this Ural central region where they've been struggling. I think on par there's kind of a balance of forces here. Just looking 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, I think there's almost a perfect balance of forces. It's just sort of the subtle shifting of core and how these different forces use the roads and who plays the better cards on the offensive and so forth. And a lot of this is coming down to die rolls. What else is happening? So I mentioned a few reinforcements. White attempted to end infighting and failed. Some white cavalry down the south, some red unity which brought in some reinforcements, and that's about it. This is a lot of ops. Britain also left, so it's just the US forces on the map now. Now I don't know if I've mentioned, but Japan entered the war in the last turn, and here they are, way down in the Far East, in the Sea of Japan. There's 3 armies that are based there, and they can leave and attack Vladivostok. They've been waiting for the Americans to leave, and they just haven't given up yet. An army in 2 core, or 1 core with strength 2, worth 6 versus these Japanese armies of strength 9. My concern is I don't think the Japanese have any core to replace these armies if they're lost. Maybe I need to look closer. I don't think there are any Japanese core. So they've just been holding off, waiting for the Americans to withdraw, and then their plan is to march through this Far East region and try and capture Vladivostok and Chita up there to the north of this section. Now I mentioned the Poles are pretty active. Ukraine still can only operate in Ukraine. They can now act, but it's Ukraine only, and there's not much they can do in Ukraine. Things have been very quiet out here with West Ukraine. These forces haven't moved at all. The Poles kind of holding their border with strength 9. I think the West Ukrainians have strength 9 as well, so it's a bit of a standoff. Small Ukrainian force there. But the Poles have really been driving through Belarus and trying to threaten Moscow. They are just 4 spaces away from Moscow. But as I said, a lot of those red reinforcements in the area. So that is the end of turn 8. We're heading to turn 9, the last turn of 1919.